Hi, good afternoon, everyone, uh, and pleasure to have you all here. So I'm just going to be sharing a bit about Charge City and how we started the business. So way back in 2019, we thought of this idea, and at that point of time, US Tesla, particularly in the US, was doing very good work, and electric vehicles were seen in a different light after Tesla launched their vehicles. Uh, Before that, electric vehicles were seen as the cars that were not fast enough and didn't have enough range and probably not very well sought after. But Tesla gave put electric vehicles in a new, different light, and so we thought of this idea that, sooner or later, the same model has to be replicated in India as well. And looking at the pollution levels and the rising import costs of petrol and diesel, electric vehicles are to take center stage. Uh, so we, at that point of time, there was this chicken and egg kind of situation in India where people were contemplating whether to install the EV charging infrastructure first, or the OEMs were contemplating whether to come out with the electric vehicle models first. So at that point of time, we thought that the charging infrastructure has to proceed because the core concern of anybody buying an electric vehicle at this point of time is availability of adequate charging infrastructure. And it remains to this day one of the key concerns of any person who is even thinking about buying an electric vehicle. So we thought that the charging infrastructure, once people start seeing more and more electric vehicle chargers in and around the city, they will take initiative to buy an electric vehicle. So we started off with Charge City in 2019. We incorporated the company, and almost a year was a little slow because at that point of time we had uh, very few electric vehicle models available in the Indian market, but we were just doing some groundwork and research, and but in and then the pandemic came, and pre-pandemic and post-pandemic, there was a huge difference in the whole electric vehicle industry in India. And post-pandemic, when people started coming out, we finally started to see electric vehicles, electric four-wheelers on the road. And we were very excited, that whatever we had thought of is actually coming true. The whole electric vehicle market is coming up, it started to come up in India as well. So in 2021, we installed our first EV charger. This was in a co-working space. And from there on, we have installed about 12 charging points across 5, 6 different locations. We have our own application and software support. So I'll just walk you through the slide now. Yeah. So, like I said, one of the core, so internal combustion engine cars are basically the cars that run on petrol and diesel. And electric vehicles, in comparison, promote clean mobility. And a lot of people have this concern that, ultimately the electricity is being generated through fossil fuels or coal in India. But if there are research that suggests that even after the electricity is being generated with uh, probably non-renewable sources, the net emissions that electric vehicles make is still far lesser as compared to internal combustion engine vehicles. So electric vehicles, that's why I promote clean mobility. So and this global automotive industry is going through this paradigm shift from internal combustion engine vehicles to cleaner and more cost-effective electric vehicles. One of the main reasons why people switch to electric vehicles is also the cost comparison uh, of using electric vehicles, both in terms of maintenance costs and obviously the cost of the running cost of electric vehicles. So electric vehicles have far lesser moving parts as compared to internal combustion engine vehicles, and thus they cost less. The maintenance costs are far less of electric vehicles, and the running costs are also come down significantly. So in this slide, we have shown if an electric vehicle or an internal combustion engine vehicle runs for 15,000 miles, what is the actual cost that we get? So this shows that you can see from different vehicles perspective, from a car or an SUV or a pickup truck, a battery electric vehicles running costs for 15,000 miles is almost 60% less as compared to fuel powered, petrol and diesel powered internal combustion engine vehicles. So, so India's initiative in the electric vehicle industry probably began in 2016 with the National Electric Mobility Mission Plan that was launched by the government of India. So this plan laid down an initiative and a target that to convert 30% of new electric vehicles by 2030 to electric. And it was this and through this plan, the government came out with various initiatives like the faster adoption of electric mobility FAME scheme, through which government came out with various incentives like tax benefits and other subsidies for production and sale of electric vehicles. So this has the FAME scheme has had two different phases, the FAME 1 and the FAME 2. Uh, the FAME 2 is currently ongoing. And according to but India right now is still lagging behind most other countries when it comes to the adoption of electric vehicle. Most Western countries, when it comes to adoption of electric vehicles, we can see from the map over here that Norway is uh, uh, the most that has the highest adoption rate of electric vehicles in the world right now, and almost 70% of all cars in Norway are electric. India is slowly catching up with its peers when it comes to adoption of electric vehicles. But it is, according to the BIS research, we have seen that the electric vehicle industry is poised to grow at a CAGR of 43.15% between 2019 and 2030. So there is a huge boom that is going to come in the coming 5 to 7 years. As I said, like the National Electric Mobility Mission Plan laid out that 30% of laid out the target that 30% of all new vehicles by 2030 have to be electric, and it was ascertained that to support this kind of this number of electric vehicles, the EV charging infrastructure required is supposed to be around 2.9 million charging points. That's almost 20 to 29 lakh charging points. And it was certain that every 3 kilometers, there has to be one charging point, one electric vehicle charging point available. And one charging station has to be set up on 25 kilometers on both sides of highways and roads. So a total of 2.9 million charging points are required uh, uh, in India. And right now, the figure is somewhere around 10,000 charging points when it comes to slow chargers, and about 5,000 charging points when it comes to the fast chargers, the DC fast chargers. So there's a huge gap that needs to be filled in this industry. So EV charging, the whole global EV industry by 2026 is poised to reach $567 billion. And the projected EV market size in India by 2026 is supposed to be around $9.5 billion. And projected EV charging market size in India is supposed to be around $1.5 billion. And like I said, according to the government's plans, the charging infrastructure required is about 2.9 million charging points by 2030. So there are a lot of offerings available. There are a lot of opportunities available in the EV charging infrastructure side. One of them is possible connection with the a smart grid. So a smart grid is basically that enables uh, EV charging infrastructure to be connected to the grid and make use of different electricity tariffs at different times of the day, or dynamic pricing, as we like to call, uh, to uh, to be passed on to the end users of EV charging infrastructure. And there is also an opportunity of solar powered charging stations being set up. So basically what happens is, uh, since for EV charging infrastructure, the main raw material that you can say is electricity. So to if we are able to bring down the cost of electricity per unit, so it makes a lot of difference in the unit economics of the whole business. So one way to do this is by setting up solar hybrid electric vehicle charging stations that run on both solar and on the grid electricity. So this can reduce the per unit cost of electricity that is being utilized by the EV charging station. So we have in the whole infrastructure, we provide the end-to-end service. We provide the charging management system and the application. The charging management system can be linked to the solar powered uh, solar modules, as well as the grid, the smart grid. Okay, so why install EV chargers? So installation of electric vehicle sends out a message that any organization, for example, if you are setting up at a mall or uh, an office building, it sends out a message that the organization itself is passionate about encouraging eco-friendly modes of transport, and passionate about the environment. And like we have seen, a lot of these organizations have to comply with ESG metrics. A lot of the public organizations have to comply with ESG metrics these days. So electric vehicle, setting up electric vehicle charger is one such measure which an organization can take towards comply with these ESG metrics. And second thing that we have is the chargers. The whole EV charging industry is a very high on return on investment. Installing EV charging infrastructure at locations such as highways or malls, uh, it basically adds an additional revenue stream for any organization owner, and the payback period is less than 3 years. So, and there's also an opportunity to earn additional revenue through advertisements on these charging locations. So it creates like a separate passive revenue stream for any person or organization that is setting up EV charging infrastructure. So high growth opportunities, like we have seen all throughout, it is a booming industry, charging new electric, all different types of automobile manufacturers are coming out with new and new electric vehicle models. And the sales has EV sales in FY 2021 to 22 to reach 4 lakh units, growing almost 300% year on year, uh, because of the government's incentives, and also the rising pollution has made people aware that about the need to shift to electric vehicles, uh, and compliance with state EV norms. So a lot of real estate companies are required by law to reserve at least 5 to 10% parking space for electric vehicle charging stations. A lot of states have laid down such norms for malls and residential buildings to follow. So installation of EV chargers is basically leading to the compliance of these state norms. Increase in property value. So there has been a research by JLL that was conducted, so which lays down that about the EV installation of EV chargers leads to almost 6% increase in the value of a particular property, and also enhances the tenant retention as more and more people switch to electric vehicles. We are founded the company with the vision that we have to provide complete end-to-end solution for EV charging management, right from installation, commissioning of EV chargers to the end redressal of grievances, and providing the software support as well as the mobile application for the end users. So our ultimate goal is to provide maximum value to the end users of electric vehicles and provide a seamless EV charging experience right from start to finish. So I'll share with you all the solutions that we are offering. So like I said, we have our customer facing mobile application, which the end user can download. So our mobile application is based on Open Charge Point Protocol, or OCPP 1.6. So OCPP is basically an open protocol that is used by chargers and EV charger manufacturers and application service providers. It is a common protocol that is used by most global EV charging equipment. So our application is compliant with OCPP 1.6 and can be connected to all global chargers, all the chargers of different global manufacturers that are compliant with this OCPP protocol. When an end user comes to charge at a particular location, he or she can download the application, and we can view all the different charging points on a map, can navigate to the charging points, and also reserve the charging points in advance. So there's a bookings option. So if a person wishes to reserve a charging point in advance, he can do so, and the charging point will be blocked for all other users for a time frame of 15 minutes from the start of the charging session. The user can, if he does not wish to book the charging point in advance, the user can straight away reach the destination, scan a QR code, set a charging budget, or whether he wants to charge for 1 hour or for 500 rupees or consume 2 units of electricity. And he can start the charging session accordingly. Application also has an inbuilt wallet, so the customer can add money through a Razorpay payment gateway suite onto the wallet. And once the charging session is completed, the money will be automatically deducted from his wallet. So, and additional features which our application offers is the ability to view payment history and past charging session receipts. And in addition, we also have an integrated garage in which the customer can select all the vehicles that he owns. And while charging, he can select one of the vehicles from his garage. So that is the solution of the application that we provide. The second solution that we are providing to all the franchisee owners as well is a charging station management system. So a charging station management system is basically a cloud-based software which allows the user to manage the charging points. So the user can get EV charger status, the utilization, the names of the users that are coming to charge at their EV charging points. The user can also set the pricing for different EV chargers at different locations. The charging station management system is built effectively to monetize the charging point access using complex business models. Charging station management system is also based on the Open Charge Point Protocol. In addition, we have certain analytical tools which will assist the user to basically gain insights about the performance of his charging stations, whether it comes to the energy utilization, the revenues being generated from the charging station, and also keeping up with the maintenance schedules of the charging stations. And it also allows the customer to run remote diagnostics of the charging station if something goes wrong. and remotely reboot the charger and stop the charging session in such situations. So, and the EV, we also provide the EV charging hardware. So the main EV charging hardware that we provide is from two brands. So the AC chargers, we are authorized distributors for EO Charging, which is a UK-based manufacturer of AC EV charging equipment, and they have a network of over 90,000 charging points all over UK, Europe, and even North America now. And for the DC fast chargers, we have an authorized distributorship of Telus Power, which is a US-based manufacturer of DC fast charging points. All these chargers are smart, reliable, and robust. The AC chargers we have available from 7.4 kilowatt to 22 kilowatt. And we have two different types of DC chargers, the 60 kilowatt and the 30 kilowatt DC chargers. They are of CCS2 connectors, and the 60 kilowatt DC charger is basically a floor mounted DC charger, whereas the 30 kilowatt DC charger is a wall mounted DC charger. The AC charger which we have are all wall mounted, and with the EO Mini Pro 3 2022 model, we have up to 3 years of manufacturer warranty, which is extendable by an additional 2 years by payment of an extra amount. And with the DC 30 kilowatt and 60 kilowatt chargers, we have 2 year manufacturer warranty and AMC post that. And with the AC chargers, we provide 1 year complete product replacement guarantee if in case of any malfunction. These are one of the most reliable chargers available in the Indian market, and most premium products available in the Indian market right now. So basically, our target customer segments are shopping malls. So shopping malls make for good locations for setting up EV charging points, as if there is a customer that is coming to the shopping mall, he's probably using the restaurant facilities or watching a movie, and in the meantime he can put his vehicle on charge and come back to a full charge. In residential buildings are another very good location for setting up the charging points. So most electric vehicles, most electric vehicle OEMs provide small AC chargers along with the vehicle when a customer goes to purchase an electric car. But what we have seen is it becomes very difficult for the residential societies to install EV charging points at the parking locations of each and every electric vehicle user. So a lot of RWAs and residential builders have approached us to set up common electric vehicle charging points at these locations, where customers can book the charging points in advance and charge at these common locations using the application. It further reduces the burden on the RWAs to set up EV charging points and do the unnecessarily cabling and for each and every electric vehicle user, and also reduces the load burden on the building. Office buildings can also set up electric vehicle charging points. So when we started the business, our basic school of thought was when customers user's vehicle is mostly at his residential place or his office. That is where the customer, like a particular user, will spend most of his time. So it is very necessary to have charging stations at both these locations, because that is where the user is spending most amount of his time during the day. Office buildings can also set up like common electric vehicle charging points for their employees, for users. Highway stops are another very good location to set up the charging points, because when a customer is basically traveling from one location to the other, he will stop at one particular point for refreshments of some sort for half an hour or 45 minutes. So the customer can put his vehicle on charge during that time, and be back to a full charge. And have sufficient charge to reach his final destination. So these are some of the projects where we've installed the EV charging points. Select City Walk Mall in Saket, Delhi is one of our most popular EV charging points. And we see very good utilization at these locations. In addition, we also partnered with HCL Technologies to provide charging points at their head office in Noida. And these are being utilized by the employees of HCL. So these are our client partners. We have Select City Walk, Omax, SmartWorks is a co-working space. We have partnered with Whipple Realty and Opera Realty also through one of our partners. Like a bit about myself. So I have completed my uh, graduation in business administration, bachelor's of business administration. And post that, I have 1.5 years experience in data analytics, market and research and marketing. Uh, and I have been an automobile enthusiast right from the start. And electric vehicles has been one of my passion projects since the beginning. And uh, so I basically look after the corporate strategy, the marketing, and finance as in the business. So basically, we have two models for the franchise owners. We have a FOFO model and a FICO model. So FOFO meaning franchise owned and franchise operated, FICO meaning franchise invested and company owned. So we have the investment horizon will depend upon the number and type of chargers which the franchisee owner wishes to install. But the minimum number of chargers that we propose is two, where which will include a combination of one 7.2 kilowatt AC charger, which is a slightly slower charger, and a 30 kilowatt DC fast charger. So the total investment for this will be somewhere around 9.7 lakhs, including or the fit out cost, the equipment cost, and the launch marketing budget. Uh, so the area required for setting up of these charging points will be somewhere around 200 to 1,000 square feet, depending upon the number of parking spots that the user wishes, that the franchisee partner wishes to take, and the number of charging points to be installed at these locations. The total investment, like I said, is somewhere around 10 plus lakhs, begins at 10 lakhs to goes up all the way up to 1 crore, depending upon the numbers and types of chargers. So in the FOFO model, we have a 10% royalty will be of the brand, and there is and the remaining expenses include the internet costs and the electricity tariff that needs to be paid. And also a certain revenue share will be shared with the location owner where the charging points are installed. Uh, but if the franchisee partner already has a location uh, where the charging points can be installed, that is of the best case, as it will lead to reduction in the operational expenses. In addition, the brand will also provide support for setting up of charging stations and at different locations. As we have a certain number of partner locations, we have partnered with different hotel chains, with the real estate companies, and the brand can assist the franchisee partners to set up charging points at different locations. So charging as a business makes EV charging as a business requires no manpower support because it's all handled through the application and the software. So in both of these situations, it makes for a good passive income uh, for the franchisee partner, and it requires very minimal involvement. And Charge City will support all the franchisee partners right from the start, from the installation, from the selection of the charging locations, from setting to like installation of the charging points, getting all the necessary approvals from the electricity board for setting up separate electricity connection, and and complete marketing from start to finish will be provided by Charge City. And so it's basically an end-to-end hand-holding of the franchise partners will be done by us. And so the minimum investment that we have taken into account is 10 lakh rupees. And the payback period is for the FOFO model is around 30 to 32 months. And for the FICO model is around 36 to 38 months. So in the FICO model, basically what happens is a minimum guarantee will be shared with the franchise partner. That minimum guarantee will be at 12%. And on the higher side, a revenue share of 20% will be provided to the franchise partner. So FICO model is basically like a low risk situation, and the FOFO model will be a high risk, high reward kind of situation where the customer has a very good opportunity to earn higher amounts as the adoption of electric vehicle speeds up. And so the customer can select any number of chargers and any combination of the chargers, and accordingly the investment, according to his investment appetite, and the investment will vary according to the type and number of chargers. So franchise owner can basically set up like a single unit. Single unit will comprise of one DC and one AC charger to the minimum, and any combination thereof. A multi-unit franchisee will typically involve setting up of multiple charging points for customers, for end customers like cab fleets or some logistics fleets, which have a high utilization rate of EV charging points. So there are a lot of cab fleets and electric vehicle fleets that are operating at different parts of the country. So these require EV charging hubs to be set up at different parts of the city where they park and charge their vehicles on a daily basis. So setting up of these EV charging hubs for all the different cab fleets will comprise in the multi-unit model of the franchisee, where the franchisee owner, if he has a larger investment appetite, can set up 50 or 100 EV charging points for utilization by these cab fleets. So as far as the responsibilities in both models are concerned, in the FOFO and the FICO model, so in the FOFO model, the investment, ownership, and the utility bills, operational expenses have to be borne by the franchisee partner. The AMC and the charging management system, which comprises of a certain minimum fee, is also borne by the franchisee partner. But the net profit that is accrued through the investment is also then taken by the franchisee partner. So it's a high risk, high reward situation, like I said. In the FICO model is more of a passive investment strategy. And so in this, basically the franchisee partner makes the investment, and the ownership is retained with the brand, and all the operational parts of running the EV chargers are taken care by the brand itself. And there is a minimum guarantee or revenue share involved in this particular situation. But the higher side of the earning of the franchisee partner is capped at 20%. So the minimum guarantee is there. So your investment is secure, but on the higher side is also capped. Like I said, Charge City as a brand will assist the franchisee partners in surveying and identifying locations to set up the charging points. We can also arrange charging points for the franchise partner from the franchise partners through our partnerships with real estate companies and hotel chains. and the location and the contract will be finalized by Charge City with the landowner. And we will assist the franchisee owners in getting a separate electricity connection for setting up the EV chargers. Well, like I said before, the key raw material in the whole EV charging business is the electricity. So the lower the electricity tariff will be, the higher the chance of getting a good return. So to uh, to take advantage of subsidies by the government, we will assist the franchisee partners in getting a separate electricity connection that will keep the electricity tariff at the lowest. And we will supply and install the chargers at the location, commission them, and the charging station will be registered on the mobile application of Charge City, and the customer will be given a separate account on the CS. The franchisee partner will be given a separate account on the CSMS, and he will be able to monitor his charging points on a real-time basis, right from start to finish. And complete software solution and customer support will be provided by the Charge City team. The branding and marketing will be provided as well. The CSMS is basically an integrated suite of all the tools necessary to manage an EV charging point. So complete invoicing and payment processing can be done through the CSMS itself. And like for the assistance provided, Charge City will take 10% of the revenue generated as royalty. And EV charging tariffs will be fixed in due consultation with the franchise partners, and will be periodically changed as and when, depending upon the demand and supply situation, as well as the change in EV charging tariffs. Like I said, in the FOFO model, the franchisee owner basically retains the ownership of the charger, and he has to apply for a separate electricity connection from the local discom to take advantage of lower electricity tariffs. And through the web portal and app, he can access or monitor the EV charging stations, and he pays for the electricity bill and the rental and equipment maintenance from second year onwards. Or the AMC will be charged from second year onwards for the DC chargers, and for the AC chargers, we have 3-year manufacturer warranty, which is extendable by up to 2 years. So from fourth year onwards, the AMC or the extendable warranty will be charged to the franchisee partner. Duration of the franchise agreement will be of 10 years, and there will be a 3-year lock-in period. And there is also an option given to the franchisee partner if he wishes to exit. He can do so using by giving out 25% of the capex during the lock-in period. So ideal franchise partner profiles we look for is typically real estate owners of any sort, whether it's people who run hotels, restaurants, or have own some kind of land on the highway, or corporate malls, commercial buildings, and the needless to say, the franchisee partners need to be financially stable investors. And additionally, like if the franchisee partners already have the real estate, like I said before, it will lead to further reduction in their operational expenses, because the cost, if you get location from an outside source, you will have to share a certain percentage of revenue with the location owner for the land provided as well. So if the franchisee partner already has his own real estate in the form of probably a commercial establishment or a hotel or a restaurant, that becomes a very good business opportunity, as he can earn additional streams of revenue by setting up a charging station at that location. And this will also, setting up a charging station will also lead to an increase in the revenue of his main business. For example, if a hotel owner or a restaurant owner is providing charging at his location, more and more custom electric vehicle users will come at that location to charge, and also utilize his other services in the form of the restaurant or the mall. So it becomes a good additional revenue stream. So right now, our target areas of expansion are mainly in North India, in Punjab, Delhi NCR, Bombay, Chandigarh, Uttarakhand, and Himachal Pradesh. So these are our target cities that we are planning to expand in the coming few months. So, like I said before, Charge City will be providing all the assistance to the franchisee owner from start to finish. And we want to ensure that the franchisee partners get maximum return on investment. And we will be hand holding right from start to finish, from site selection and approval to complete installation and commissioning services from scratch, and training of the franchisee partners, and provision of the software services like a complete management software service. And an annual maintenance will be done routinely by the Charge City team. Any technology upgrades that are needed to be done either on the charger side or the software side will be undertaken by the Charge City team, and we provide our branding and central marketing for the charging station to have maximum utilization. So these are some of our news mentions. We had given our quotes for some of articles that had come out in various news platforms. Okay, thank you. That was our presentation.